time to have a serious talk. Specifically, talk about being taken seriously. In this video, I want to share a new approach to deciding on what you want to do, to setting goals, to taking direction, which will help increase the chances that people take you seriously. Now, this video is not just for ENFPs and INFPs, but my hunch is will ring particularly true for my fellow NFPs who sometimes have a lot of ideas and not a lot of action. I first filmed a version of this video for my Dreamers community, but decided, hey, I want to share this with the whole world. So here I am refilming it for you here on YouTube. Now, the first thing you have to start doing differently is to commit first, then plan and talk with others. So often we think out loud, we brainstorm. We want to get feedback on something. Maybe we think of a business we could do and we're like, hey Chris, what do you think about this? And then, we share it with someone, or even worse, we're kind of committed, like we actually want to do it, but we're seeking someone to validate the concept. So we're sharing it with the random people in the lineup at Starbucks and assuming that their feedback will somehow tell us if we should do this business. That is terrible in so many ways. First, the feedback you're going to get is terrible. It's not going to be aligned with getting you to your goal, and it's going to kill all your excitement. So if you do finally decide to do this thing, you're probably not going to be nearly as excited or committed to it as if you commit first. Here's the difference when you commit first. You think through what it is you really want to do. You write things down, you get it on paper. Here is what I would love to do. I'm going to use an easy example here with the keto diet. I know some people apparently hate it, but oh well. So approach number one, you hear this guy Dan on YouTube talking about the keto diet and you think, hey, that actually, the things he talked about, mental clarity and weight loss and energy, that would really help me. And you're like, oh, we'll see. And then you go into work and you bring it up to everyone and you're like, I was thinking about maybe this keto thing. And then you get 10 different opinions. Someone whose sister did it and suddenly fell off a cliff, and someone else who had a great experience, and someone who read an article about it was actually about the Atkins diet, which is quite a bit different, but they got confused with it and now they're telling you about the keto diet. By the way, that happens all the time. Like most people I talk to tell me about how they went on the keto diet, but they're describing the Atkins diet, which is a totally different thing. Anyhow, by the time you're done, you were very confused, you have very mixed emotions about it, and so you maybe try out the keto diet for a week. That's what most people will get you to, right? They'll say, hey, just try it out for a week and see how you feel. Here's the other approach is you go to a good source of information. You find something you want to do and you realize, hey, I really want to try this keto diet. And you write down why you want to do it, what benefits it would have for you, why you're excited about it, and what committing to it would look like for you. So say you say 3 months, I'm going to try this diet for 3 months, see how it affects me, and then reevaluate. Then you go into work and you say, guys, I'm on the keto diet. I'm doing it for 3 months. Does anyone have any tips to succeed? Does anyone know anyone who's done this diet and has been really happy and can offer me advice? See, here's the big difference there. In one case, you present people with a possibility, and when you share it with them, people naturally want to give advice. So they're going to give advice based on whether or not you should do the diet, right? If you tell them you're going to do this, people tend to give you advice based on how to do it successfully. And if they don't naturally do that, you can nudge them in that direction, right? If you're starting a business, it's very different to say to someone, hey, I'm thinking about starting a business, or I'm trying this thing, than saying, yeah, this is my business, I'm moving forward, I have a 2-year plan. Do you have any advice? You've worked for yourself before. Could you help me on this part of my plan? Or do you have any success tips? That will get you very different feedback. This happens for a few reasons. One is just the linguistic part of it. The way you word it will bring out different answers in people, right? How you ask a question will determine the type of answer you get. But the other thing that I found, and I found this across the board, is when I'm really committed to something and people see that, people don't want to be a hater. They don't want to bring you down. They will look for ways to support you and often be really impressed and inspired at the big steps you're taking. In many cases, and this is probably very true if you're an ENFP, you may be the leader in your group of trying new things, of taking risks, and people sort of let you go out and see how you do, right? So if you say, hey guys, I'm going to start this keto diet, people will say, okay, like, let's see how this works. I've converted probably 12 people to this diet that I've just met randomly and started talking to. And then they're like, oh, that sounds really good. But they never would have went out and tried this on their own, let's say, right? So when you're really committed to something, people get excited about it and want to support you. When you're on the fence and you say to them, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, then they want to test you. They want to see, wait, are you really committed? Are you serious? And they also want to pick it apart because they want to see for themselves too. If you say you're going to start a business, maybe they've thought about starting a business. And if you're not sure, then all their doubts, they're going to bring them up and ask you, well, what about this? What about taxes? How do you figure out the corporation? What if you run out of money? What about blah, 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 blah? That's what people do, but it's not their fault. It is your fault for how you present yourself and the level of commitment you go in with. Now at this stage, especially if you're in ENFP, you might be thinking, but I need to brainstorm, I need feedback, I need to chat with people. That's how I think. Hey, I'm the same. I think out loud. I have some of my best concepts come through conversation. So all you do is you differentiate those. You say to people, hey, like, I'm just brainstorming, or I'm thinking out loud, this isn't something serious. What would you think about that? Or hey, wouldn't that be cool? And you think that through. You don't say, hey, I'm probably gonna do this, or I'm thinking of doing this. And you separate those two things into brainstorming, thinking about, pondering, and committed to, and I'm going to make this happen. If you start to do this and be careful with how you use your words, you'll start to be taken more seriously. People will respect you when you really commit to something, and when you're just playing around and brainstorming and thinking of things that would be cool, they'll know that, hey, they shouldn't take this seriously and engage with you in a different capacity. Now, the last part of this is setting timeframes. This is so important. If you want to be taken seriously, but also you actually want to achieve some things and get results, you need to set longer timeframes for how long you stick to something. I'm going to go back to the keto diet, and really when I started filming this video, I was thinking about business and starting something for yourself, and I will link to a free training I have on that at the end of this video as well. But the keto diet in this case is such an easy example because I have so much experience meeting people as I've been traveling. I went back home to Canada and I was seeing old friends and people I know from business, and so many people, apparently it's become quite a thing in North America, told me, yeah, I tried that diet, and then I'd ask them about it and they'd try for like 2 weeks or like a week and be like, I don't really feel that good. The first thing you read in any proper literature about the diet is the first month sucks and you're tired and drained as your body switches how it processes food. So you have to go in, like when I started it, I committed for multiple months. I basically committed that I'd go indefinitely on it, but I committed at least for 3 months where I would know, okay, I'm gonna get through that tough part. And the same thing happens with business. People go in with this, I'm gonna try it out for a few weeks. You're never going to get anywhere trying something out for a few weeks. If you want to try out a business, try out. First off, get rid of that language from your vocabulary. If you want to create an amazing business for yourself, go in thinking, I will be stubborn, like Rocky Balboa stubborn, no quit, no excuses for at least 1 year. Then I will consult with 2 to 3 coaches, wise friends, mentors, people with business experience to reassess if I am on track, if I should quit, if I'm cut out for this. But if you jump into working for yourself with the attitude of every day I'll reassess, like I'll just try it, and on Tuesday if I feel like it's not working, maybe I'll not start this business, or maybe I'll start a different business, or maybe I'll go back and get a job, you're gonna fail. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no autobiography you will ever read of a successful entrepreneur, actor, artist, writer who was like, hey, I'm gonna try this and every day I'm gonna reevaluate and think maybe, and then when I tell people what I do, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm kind of trying this entrepreneur side hustle thing and seeing how it goes. I challenge you to find a single story like that. So to sum it up, number 1, commit to your outcome before you get started. Number 2, commit to a time frame where you will pursue without reevaluating your goal. And number 3, when you share this with other people, choose your words very carefully and ask for their input on how to achieve your goal, not whether or not your goal or outcome makes sense. I mentioned a free business training that I will link to here. I'll have that pop up as a card and link it in the description below as well. This training is for you if you'd like to build a time and location independent business. Now, this does not mean you want to go travel the world and be a crazy person like I have. It may just mean that you want to be able to work from home on your own schedule. But it's primarily around coaching, freelancing, and other service businesses. And one of the topics I address in the training is about commitment and staying on track, and how do you deal with self-doubt and focus and being unsure of where to start if there's multiple things you want to do. So I'll link to that training. I encourage you to check it out. If you are new to the channel, my name is Dan. This is Dreams Around the World, and I publish new videos each and every week. So consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell, and I'll catch you in the next video soon. Ciao.